bans. But yeah, there's a lot on the line. These last... Honestly, there is not a single game in the next week that is not important for advancement or relegation. And that is what makes this region one of the best. Okay, so Division 2, one of the best. Division 1 is like, you know, you got a couple of teams that are gods, a couple of teams that are, well, definitely gonna go to Division 2. We're gonna see the Balrog soon enough.
Yeah, I think every region kind of suffers with this problem where the two teams that come from Division 2 are usually kind of kicked back to Division to Division 2 after they reach Division 1. But G-Pride, huh? They go for this Scuttle Storm. I actually like this a lot because the best pairing for IO right now, according to a lot of players, is Storm. So not only you get a good combo for the Storm you stole, you also prevent NoPing from picking that up. I wonder what they'll try to pair with IO, knowing that Storm's there, because there's definitely a couple of very popular ones. You could go for the Luna or Gyro. But I guess CK is being played quite a bit as well.
Yeah, the IO. I mean, I also see Tiny still available. Tiny. Which we see a little bit too much of.
I like the CK. I like the Strength Hero with IO here, just because Storm, it just has a lot of burst damage, especially when you pair with the Caudal. So you want something that doesn't get bursted. IO. Gyro anyways. But usually I would prefer a Strength Hero.
I mean, to be fair, Gyrocopter builds kind of Strength Hero for the most part. Tags and then Danik, BKB, whatnot. And go ham.
I mean, sure, but would you rather, you know, date the cosplay of your favorite anime character or actual anime character in Flash? You know, Gyrocopter is cosplaying. It's not the same thing.
It's gonna be pretty weird considering I'm 3D and they're 2D, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking hypotheticals here, but you get the idea.
It's a very strange hypothetical, I might add.
Well, strange to me is this Gyrocopter pick. No, I'm kidding. It's a good pairing. It's fine.
It's reasonable enough. It's okay. It's
It
not
is,
superb.
It is a canon pick. You know, it's in the realm of possibilities. I do like this Nyx ban. You know, pretty. This IO probably going to be position 5, since this Gyro is probably going to be your carry. So banning a position for the counters, both the Caudal and the Storm. And this Puck that is just a nuisance overall for Storm.
Yeah, these bans all make sense. Not anything specific. I do like the fact that, like, first phase, Gorilla's Pride ban out the Soothes Voker. That is a lot of respect.
Oh yeah, first phase. I mean, they did had 8th pick there, so that's when you can go for these greedy, you know, carry / mids in the first phase. So I think that's a good assessment. You wouldn't ban Invoker if they had first pick on side of G-Pride, because it's much harder to go for a pick like that, because you have the response pick. And now they still the Tiny, a bulky boy that lanes well over Storm. I'm actually enjoying this Gorilla Pride draft pretty much. You know, Tiny probably gonna be your carry here, because this Caudal, I don't like Caudal 5. I think it's pretty trash, so you can't really.
I play that like constantly, but yeah. It is really like it just pushes out the lane most of the time. And there's that CK that you like to see, comboed with the Skywrath, so you got that instant silence against the Storm, which is very useful. If you don't get it off on the Storm, you die. That's kind of the downside of the Sky this game. You very easily die to these Gorilla Pride heroes.
And that's why I like the bulky boys, because having the guy means that the CK stunning to Skywrath Mage might not be enough to kill the stun. You might need another core, you might need to even relocate, and then it means you're actually spending a lot of resources for the kills that they want to get. Storm, though, he'll definitely be in trouble if he gets Silencing Fog. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. Whoever gets the jump, if Storm jumps Sky, he's sad. If Sky jumps Storm with someone else, Storm is also sad. I wonder if they'll go for some sort of save as their position 5 here, something like an Abaddon or an Oracle. It's not a popular pick, honestly, and against relocate, it's kind of hard to execute as well. But I wonder how they'll feel like the Storm's gonna fare. You know, if he can just play away from everyone, or if they'll rather group up and have that save if they do get the Abba. I don't mind this.
Abba Tiny, you got a Coddle for Storm mid. Just need an offlaner, something that lanes well against an IO Gyro. I have no clue. Just seems like a very annoying lane. You could just go for like stupid spam, of course, with the Coddle. Full on harass kind of heroes, or just go with the DK.
I think it's pretty good versus the IO actually, because the IO has to be close to the gyro, right? So usually your support, he wants to be finding the Coddle and telling the carry where he is, so he doesn't tank the Illuminate. But the IO can't really do that well, because if he breaks the tether, then he's not going to be healing the gyro. IO usually wants to be tethered just because he's very slow. So I think Coddle actually does pretty well in that lane. Gyro's also an IG hero, struggles against burst damage. It's all about what is the carry, I'm sorry, the offlaner that Gorilla Spread is going to pair with that Coddle. And it's kind of scary, honestly, because I feel like there's a decent amount of offlaners that can get that still would do really well. They do take the Tide, though. Can actually survive all the bursts that CK Sky would bring to the table. And they take the DP. I don't even think DP is that good, because you have this off lane 4, right? So it's a weird lane to have DP plus Coddle. But it is an overall broken hero, so I don't mind the ban.
Looking at their choices now. NoPing, of course, they need a mid laner to deal with the Storm. Unless we're going to get some weird shenanigans when Storm all of a sudden is an offlaner. That I doubt that to the max. Or Tiny offlane with the COD. That's actually a very stompy lane.
That's true, actually. That is a fair assessment. I think that Coddle Tiny lane is not bad. And wow, yeah, gotta stay very important assessment that you just made, because if they just play this Tiny, they could still get like a range hero for that lane, something like a Terrorblade. I mean, sure, you're playing against Kyreth Mage, so that is a little scary, but you have the Abaddon save, you can just go BKB, and then you have a really good matchup versus the Gyro. You know, the CK minus armor doesn't really bother you at all. I felt that, you know, NoPing could maybe go Batrider if Gpride didn't pick Abaddon, because Batrider with IO is really good, and it's a good lane against the Storm. But this Abba makes it much harder, so the heroes that they can pick on NoPing for suits are, you know, there's not that many. You could go Lina, maybe, but they go Kunkka.
It's like an okay hero. It's not super good against the Storm necessarily. It survives the Tiny combo, and I think that's kind of what NoPing is going for, because when you get to like the later portions of the game, Tiny turn, they actually go for the TA, so an offlane Tiny.
I love this.
I think that is actually the better choice.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Gpride's draft is a little bit better. You have this Storm TA combination that scales a lot. You have this Abaddon to protect from what NoPing. They definitely have they want to play faster tempo. And I think this Abaddon really stops what they want to do. They also have very little push. You know, Gyro IO is fine, but it's not great. But you're against a Coddle. So I think I'm going to go with Gpride, even though I think NoPing is the better team.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, the one downside is, of course, that they're super tanky, but that's what TA is amazing at, is tank busting. And also the Storm, like, you got the CK, which is nice, but one Storm, you take this game late, for instance, and Storm gets the Aghanim Scepter plus his level 25 talent, those CK illusions are gone, everyone on the enemy team is gone, because the Storm can solo everything and everyone. Yeah, I really like the Gorilla Sprite lineup as well. I think the changing of the Tiny to an offlane in this case is a really good choice, because you got a Coddle Tiny, and you'd probably, I guess, go for just the Avalanche Toss kind of Tiny.
Yeah.
And just spam mana on him and just keep on comboing, and destroying the top lane. Yeah, bottom lane.
It's really strong. Another combo we didn't talk about is Coddle Abba, right? You can actually get 2 shields. So even if they are like trying to use the CK stun, wait for the shield so that the Kunkka can axe combo, you can still like prevent that when you have the Abba Coddle. The downside of that is that they actually don't have that many stuns, so the aggressive potential really depends on this tiny storm playing together. The supports by themselves, they can't really play aggressive, and that's where NoPing will try to really do. Like once the laning stage breaks before Tiny has blink, that's like the biggest window NoPing has to explore. Because G Pride, like what do you do if you smoke as a Korowa Baton Storm, right? It's such a terrible ganking combo. They really need this Tiny to have a good lane on the side of G Pride. So NoPing, as long as the IO and the Jar play well, as long as they don't feed too much, it could be really good. Because if Lewis, if he doesn't get that early blink, he could struggle. And you gotta remember, Lewis is the player that got kicked at the beginning. He was subbed by Chikala, right? And he had to come back just so they could exchange their mid laners for Mr. Gene. So we'll see if he's going to perform, because it felt like G Pride was not that confident in the performances before the match he was subbed.
It still hurts the fact that I can't say now and Tao anymore. Like that's the worst part of it all. Their names rhymed.
They're probably big friends, but looks like the trust was broken.
And it's also kind of weird that they do it like 2 games before the end, right? It just in general, it feels weird for all the teams that swap out players.
Yep.
Everybody.
Should kind of
I mean,
be
you do
a
have all of the
thing.
4 games with subs, so sometimes you see pretty much at the start of the season, and the teams are like, maybe if we can actually get this Natty to play all games, we're not going to have to play tiebreakers, and we won't have to deal with the shame of calling our original player back. But
Wolf Team had that last season, where they, of
they
course,
did.
had Yodomi playing, originally, and then they had...
It was Duster, right?
Yeah, Duster playing as their sub, and then the last game of the season, they were...
Yo, by the way,
I think they were missing their mid
Duster
laner.
is back instead of KJ. We didn't talk about that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just forget what I said. Just forget what I
Yeah,
said.
you're thinking
I
about the
just
wrong team.
Yes, I'm sorry. I am very sorry. Yeah, Duster was in Wolf Team and got subbed by KJ afterwards. I'm sorry. Yeah, Domi was in Wolf Team, got subbed by Duster, then Duster left Wolf Team, joined NoPing. Jesus Christ.
And now they're facing each other in this game.
Yes. Yeah. So many.
And completely different teams. I think they...
Get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, this guy... But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do. Soothes versus Mr. Jeans, I assume they've had that matchup plenty of times. They're very knowledgeable of each other.
I think not.
Yeah, I mean, this mid matchup is pretty interesting. You know, the Storm usually really good versus melee heroes. Kanka, kinda not melee in the sense that Tidebringer works. So, like, I think that the scariest window here for Storm is level 4, level 5, where Suits actually just does a lot of damage. So that's when Guts probably gonna have to jungle a little bit. You gotta be scared of the Skywrath Mage rotation. The long cast range on the slow and the silence could be a problem. But as long as you know they test his rune, he's gonna be fine in terms of sustain.
Top lane taking some heavy damage without the refraction charges. Now he does have it available, but he did go for the immediate magic wand purchase. Like full on magic wand.
They have a lot of spam ability on their spells. Like I don't think there's a single spell here with more than like 20 seconds cooldown. So you gotta be careful. And they're pressuring quite a bit here. Going for
That's heavy burst. And yeah, this lane is also not looking too good. Last pick TA, of course. But they have a lot of spammable spells and stuns and like damage. They have a lot of damage in that lane.
Yeah, they played that lane really well, actually. They were, you know, they know that the lane is pushing towards the side of NoPing, and they aggressively went towards them without drawing aggro. So this means that even though they're being this aggressive, it's not like G Pride is gonna get a wave anytime soon. At the same time, Yadomi trying to pull, but Elmishu identifies that's the only way they can fix this lane. Oh, and now could be in trouble. Elmishu is like, all right, you're gonna pull? Well, we're gonna make sure your team has a terrible time, but oh no, Elmishu pressed the slow after he was in fog, so now could be in trouble if that slow actually hit.
Yeah, he does have 11 magic wand charges though, so would be able to survive for quite a decent amount of HP. But his farming is not going that well. And his refracting charges are already gone. Luckily enough, Udobi's there with the shield to get rid of the stun and the like. But yeah, this TA definitely is going to need to get some stacks or something. Yeah, luckily enough, his team is already making stacks on the side of G-Pride because this is definitely a struggling lane.
That's what Kato does, and that's why I really like this Kato with TA. You know, it doesn't seem like a combo necessarily, but this Kato hero is so fast, he can be in lane, he can stack. And another thing that is worth mentioning is, sure, they're pressuring this TA quite a bit, but it also means they're not exploring this window in the Mr. Jeans matchup. So I don't think he should die mid. Oh, and they also kill Abba again. But I don't think he should die mid. He'll get that 6, and that's when he can start trying to help the other lanes. Oh, and he's even ahead in levels here compared to Suits.
He's looking pretty good. I mean, it is kind of... There are not many heroes that beat the Storm in the lane, because he's got so much spam damage. And the early levels, the Tidebringer has a massive cooldown, so you can't really harass that much, where Static Remnant is 3.5 seconds, and you kind of can get 2 damage procs off of it with the Overload. Oh, Elmisha just suicides. Okay, well, that makes sense. Get that quick respawn back in the lane.
Very true, very true. That bottom lane looking pretty decent here. Sure, the Gyro's farming, but they're not really pressuring Tiny at all, which I think would happen. There's not enough damage on the heroes of NoPing to really do that. Janek constantly getting the stacks off, no vision from NoPing to scout those stacks. So even though this TA is struggling, okay, Duster finally, okay, he
realizing it, and they have a lineup that can definitely steal the stacks though towards mid. This is going to get gone on by Mr. Jeans. In comes Elmisha, doesn't have the silence, he's trying to get the damage in. It's going to be the kill secured by the tower. Sooth staying alive as well, and a great rotation from Elmisha just in the nick of time, while we miss Louis getting taken down by Duster in the bottom lane. Oh, looking very good for NoPing all of a sudden in all 3 lanes.
Yeah, pretty sad from G-Pride, because I'm sure if the Storm was not taking tower hits there, he could have gotten the Suit skill. So he just dove a little bit too much, didn't respect the Skywrath Mage missing. And, I mean, he's still level 6, so it's not going to matter that much. But it's definitely the lane was doing the best for G-Pride. So they give NoPing a lot of breathing room with that play. I would like to see him just rotate and get those stacks. As you said, they do have the heroes of NoPing that can steal those stacks back. So just make sure that Guts or Mr. Jeans farms it, and then he's gonna scale a lot. I don't think he's probably gonna go for that no boots build on Storm, get the Kaya, and then like the Kato and the Storm just do so much early damage with that build.
And you definitely need to make use of that, because RDO is stomping bottom, is going for the Diffusal Blade first item.
Yeah, he did that once. Yeah, he really likes this Io Gyro Diffusal Blade build.
Interesting choice. Brings me back to some Tops and TI moments. Yeah, that was one of the greatest.
He's playing the cosplaying Gyrocopter, right? So might as well cosplay a Topster too.
Haste.
Sexy Fat is actually having, like, the lane is right in front of him the entire time. That's a very big issue. He is constantly free farming. Level 6 right now, free farm top, solo, because Elmisha currently is just focusing on stacking the jungle, making sure he rotates towards Sooths if he gets jumped.
Yeah, so, by the way, the ward from NoPing bottom here scouts the Storm rotation. They're hiding under tower because of that. So nicely done by NoPing, but it also means they are not farming.
And Guts is easily just farming. He's got the nice bounce rune that he can steal, so taking some jungle stacks. Doesn't really fall behind and farm if he does that. But currently Sue's going in with the ghost ship onto Yodomi, smacks him out of existence, and it is looking pretty good for Sue's in what originally looked like a bad lane. Toss up, Illuminate Blast doesn't do nearly as much damage as you'd like. Elmisha comes in as well, the big zip from Guts. The problem is he gets instantaneously silenced. Fall down on top, should be able to zip back to safety, but yeah, that's a struggling couple of moves coming out from G-Pride, and NoPing are just outplaying them.
Yeah. That ward actually allowed NoPing to don't overextend, so nicely done. But it is then dewarded by G-Pride. And now Guts, since they dewarded that and the Abba refilled the bottle from Storm, all of these heroes are stuck here. They could be in big trouble with another zip. RDO.
A lot of damage. Illuminate Blast. Not going to connect. Will be dodged nicely. Guts is going deep. He needs the kill. He needs something. But Duster, ooh, just gets killed off by the miscoil coming out from Yadomi. Elmisho will be tossed upon, and they find a double kill. It is not going to be on the gyro, but at least it's a double kill, opening up the bottom tier 1 tower take.
Yeah, kind of sad that, you know, it's the Abba, and they also give Suits a free mid tier 1 tower. I don't think that's worth it. If at least they can get this bottom tower, it's okay. But, yeah, that double damage, you know, usually, if Suits doesn't get a double damage, I'm sure that wouldn't happen. But he did the best he could. His TP was on cooldown the whole time. So even though it was actually a good move from G-Pride, knowing there was no TP on the Kunkka, because he got the DD, ends up being like a better trade from NoPing. You know, the RNG of runes just playing their role right there.
Well, Louis, bottom lane, is going to get gone on by Soothes. Does he have the damage? Okay, he threw it. There's a Photic shield a little bit soon, but it does not really matter in the end. Now, top lane, though, needs to be very careful, because there is a CK with an illusion next. Probably scouted something out, using his trap to scare them off. Or did he? Now he's going to get gone on. Homing missile chasing him down. Do they have any TP support? It's going to be the Abaddon, but I think now he's going to die regardless indeed. Now Yadomi is going to be the next one to follow suit. And RDO quickly peeks his head to get the kill.
Oh, mid. They also get the silence. Really good positioning from Elmisho.
Oh, Mr. Jeans. Zip to safety. Grabs the arcane rune while he's trying to zip away. There's
Dude,
also a broom handle.
This guy's so greedy. What is that? He's so greedy.
Broom handle next to Mr. Jeans on the floor.
Huh.
I just realized it.
Well, they're gonna pretty much exchange safe lane towers here. The tiny bottom from Lewis, getting pretty close to the Blink Dagger. And, you know, I think that the hero struggling the most right now is the TA. They did farm the large camp stacks, but the ancient ones are probably going to be gifted to him now, and that's when he will recover a little bit, because his game, unfortunately, not looking great.
It's gonna. They need the Blink Dagger from the Tiny to make any plays. They're gonna go for this gigantic zip in onto Elmisho. Make sure the silence doesn't come through. They'd already use it. Janek in trouble. Doesn't have his ulti to push them away. Aphotic shield. Heal coming out. Can they save his life? Guts keeps him away. And he's actually going in onto Sexy Fat. The heal from Duster on the side, though, is still plentiful. Sexy Fat, will he get taken down? Now in the middle of the fight. Big smackdown coming through. But look at the gyro AoE damage. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. The toss-up. RDO is dropping low. He's going to get taken down. The next one and last one is Soothes. And they haven't lost a single player on the side of G-Pride. A full 5-4-0 trade. And that is just... I mean, the Coddle staying alive thanks to the Abaddon. He turns around and with the Spirit Form, constant heal blast with the Illuminate coming through.
Dude, the fact that they actually tried to take that fight against a Storm with Arcane Rune and Coddle is baffling to me. The Storm dodges the entire X combo. I mean, that's really the problem with this Kunkka. He doesn't pressure the Storm as much in the lane or afterwards. And because the Sky try-harded so much top lane, I mean, sure, they got that one kill, but Storm was already level 6, so his game was looking really good. I feel like Mr. Jeans or Guts will be a huge thorn in NoPing's shoes this whole game, because he just does way too much. I don't think this Kunkka can match this sort of aggression, you know, the no cooldown sort of play style the Storm has. And when you add the Coddle on top of it, it's really problematic. Lewis with his Blink Dagger, this is going to be another smoke from G-Pride. I'm sure they really want to up the tempo of the game right now.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of threat taking it too late. Now he's just going to farm the Ancient stack, but Sue's getting caught, walks in, but a great silence, so he can't get tossed up in the sky. They're looking for more. Louis can he get on top, but the Torrent keeps them at bay, and Smoke Gank does not result in anything, but now at the very least get some farm going.
I mean, pretty good that NoPing did this aggressive move, because if they were just chilling, I'm sure they would be able to kill someone on the side of NoPing. So the fact that they play aggressive ends up saving them. Very nicely done. And this will, I mean, it does mean that this TA farmed the whole ancient stack and now is ahead of the gyrocopter. So we'll see what happens. I do feel like as the game goes on, this TA hero is much better than Gyro. You just force Roche better, you siege better. Sure, the IO helps, but TA is kind of broken. I'm not gonna lie.
And Coddle is also kind of broken. And they've got them both in the team. Coddle's getting close to finishing up his Spirit Vessel. Is got a decent amount of farm, of course. Louis had to be harmed in the making of that net worth. But, you know, he's a tiny off lane. His main goal is jump, avalanche toss, done.
Very, very true. So Genek is going for that Spirit Vessel build that we see Coddles go for sometimes. They have a lot of heal, a lot of bulky bars on the side of NoPing, so I don't mind that at all. And what really worries me here is that Suits, I've seen him go for this build before. It's not that I think it's a bad build, but it's a build that relies heavily on them winning the early game, snowballing. And I wouldn't say the game is snowballing towards NoPing right now. If they actually get this BKB and the fights go even, you feel so bad as Kanka. Like, it means RDO is going to be the only real carry, because, you know, this Chaos Knight, sure, he's going to get an Echo. Oh, speaking of him, he finds Blue in.
There, blows him up.
He just goes up the high ground like a potato.
Oh, that's also a way to call it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's 15 minutes into the game. You would expect that clip to be warded. So, interesting decision for him to walk by himself. Oh, Genek finds Duster, or maybe the opposite here. I'm not sure what's going on.
I mean, RDO is like, I want to farm the creep camp, so Duster, you go man fight Genek. You can't catch up to Coddle if he has his ult on. Like, he has 454 movement speed. That's level 1.
Yeah, one thing that is really, I guess, bugging me or entertaining me is that G-Pride, they have these 2 aggressive wards on their close to the offlane tower. Usually you see those wards planted if you are defending a tier 1 tower, because it allows you to actually set up before the enemy moves in. But that's not really the case. So I'm kind of confused as to why they want to play this area so much. It's not like NoPing can really Roche right now. Maybe they're expecting the Jar to be farming there and they feel like they can get killed. Which is maybe true. Mid though.
Luis in a bit of trouble again. Ghost ship, he will get connected upon, lose his life. But Genek on the run, RDO's chasing him. Can he get the kill? Should be enough to secure a double coming in for NoPing. Oh, Mr. Jeans joins the fray, going for Soothes. BKB gets popped, and that's a little bit of a surprise. And now is also caught out. That is actually pretty massive. As now is, of course, the safe laner. And this fight does go very scrappily. And again, it's Louis getting caught off first.
Yeah, just really bad positioning from G-Pride. The Yadomia Baron was not close to the TA. All this vision that they have on the top side of the map, I don't really understand what this is going to accomplish. And it just allows NoPing to move like this. I really feel like G-Pride, whoever the hero is the most aggressively positioned, should have the Abba behind. Oh, hello, RDO. They have relocate though, you gotta cancel that.
Yeah, Avalanche on top, and they're grouped up together. Hey, thank you, nice little ball of light for giving us a double kill in the process, and they get a huge kill onto RDO. He is now just done with the BKB, so that sort of kill will be a lot tougher to get done from this point forward.
As I said, those aggressive wards completely identifying the position of the Iron and the Gyro, and they get the perfect wards from G-Pride. They're safe, just totally reading what NoPing wanted to do.
I mean, that is perfectly the case, because you also thought, you know, they'd never be there. Why would they ever place a ward in that direction? And that's the exact same way NoPing thought as well. You need to out-mind game them. They went for that 5-head play, and they got them.
That It's true. Oh,
Who's?
Kita gets jumped. BKB doesn't get pressed in time.
Oh.
Suits is very low.
He gets himself back, but they drag Luis in some loving embrace. He's going to get taken down. Roche is a juicy one to secure now for the side of NoPing. And on the high ground, now is waiting for them to get a little bit closer. Doesn't get the meld hit in, but now is also in a little bit of a pickle. He is completely gone on. I mean, his Abaddon is dead, and I really don't know why he went for the fight after realizing his team got destroyed.
Yeah, that's really the problem. The Abaddon scouted the Kunkka. They don't get the Kunkka kill. They should have just disengaged, and they stood there a little bit too much. But the Arcane Rune on Mr. Jeans, he could possibly steal this. There's no instant stun. Well, I guess there is the torrent. Yeah, I actually dislike the way Storm played really a lot. Like, I'm not sure what the call was, but if the call was get out, then the problem was TAs. But if the call was actually to fight, Mr. Jeans walked all the way to the bottom side of the map to get a rune. And sure, Arcane Rune is strong on Storm, but that also means, like, you lose your TA again, and it's not like now he's having a good game, right? He's already 1-3. I feel like that really griefed the game for the TA. Just a pretty weird move.
I think in general, you called it previously perfectly. You don't kill the Kunkka, you gotta get out. Like, they blew a lot to try and kill the Kunkka. Luis had nothing at that point. Storm zipped in. Everyone was trying to pounce on him. And yeah, Kunkka can get his spells off. Then you just dip. There's really no reason to attempt it again. So BKB, Sanj is going for that Heaven's Halberd, making it very tough for the TA to play without a BKB.
Yep. Pretty sad. I feel like G-Pride was having quite a good game. Now I'm honestly very confused. Like, they want to cut waves, which I don't mind, but like, you don't care that much as G-Pride to lose your tier 2 towers. This TA can farm by herself as long as the Abaddon is farm now. But instead, now is feeding. I'm sorry, the Abaddon is feeding, and TA can't farm as aggressively because there's no Abaddon to follow her. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not ideal too. I feel like they're too scared of losing structures, and it's only an Io Gyro. It's not that much. There's no Ags on this Gyrocopter. He doesn't even do that much damage to structures at the moment. We'll see what happens.
I think it pretty much comes down to waiting until Mr. Jeans has his axe. Like, that's a big turning point. The Aghanim Scepter on Storm is incredibly powerful. He will also be level 18 at that point. Hope that you get a good catch. Maybe a CK when he pops his Phantasm. Take that out immediately at the start of the fight.
Very true, very true.
And Louis got his Echo, so, you know, he finally has a second item as well. Because he is really struggling on the offlane Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his lane was really good, but once they got the Blink Dagger, that really good smoke from NoPing kind of stopped the aggression. It never felt like they were able to really use this Tiny aggression too much, which is expected. You know, they do have the save on the IO, so you can really go for whatever hero is showing up. You have to choose your fights very carefully. Janek.
Run, Janek. Oh, Luis walks in. Yodomi is there. Please attack me. Don't attack my Tiny. Please attack me. Guys, stop. No. Okay, Luis is dead. Another death.
Why are they fighting against Aegis? Like, just let the Kato die. I'm so confused.
Because save your buddy syndrome is strong in these guys.
Yeah, it is totally save your buddy syndrome. Like, it's a Kato 4. You don't care. The Aegis will expire. And this Tiny that is now struggling is like, he is totally in struggle town. 1-6. This hero cannot afford that many deaths. And now high ground's being attempted just because of that move.
And they definitely don't want to wait until this Storm gets his Ags. Push to high ground. They still have the Aegis for 1:30. RDO is halfway towards his own Ags. And the moment that the Coddle is dead is like the best moment to try and go for high ground, considering Illuminate is a very good high ground defense tool. Luis.
Alright, force BKB.
Ooh, the big old yeet coming through. Janek is dead again. Walks out a little bit too far. Gets surprised. Yodomi next. Luis is going to be a third, and they can just finish those racks. Luckily enough, there's still tier 2 tower in mid and bot. Otherwise, they could just lose their entire base. Janek needs to not get close to the fight at all. He's trying to constantly help out, but he should just spam Illuminate Blast from miles away.
Oh my god, they're gonna dive the TA. Okay, now does blink out. So that should be it.
Sexy Fat coming in though for the chase. Meld, hide. He didn't have. Was he
He
dusted?
had meld. No.
Dust was used, but I might have used it prior.
I mean, this became a total pub game. Like there's two key things this game. I think the Storm build is wrong. I don't think they have enough burst damage to abuse the eggs in first place. It's not like they have a like Jakiro. So because the Storm never went BKB, Mr. Jeans is just like avoiding fights the whole time. Whereas I really feel like if he actually jumps to BKB, it allows Tiny and the Kato to do damage and kill people. So he never really joined fights, and that's a big problem because the TA just died then because it was NoPing playing aggressive.
Yeah, but
And the
I kind of
second
think
thing-
that he just dies if he like. Of course, you have BKB, you don't get stunned that easily, but CK and Gyro just have so much.
No, but that's not the case. Like the thing is, if you are the one jumping fights, they're gonna have to commit cooldowns to stop the aggression of the Storm. And this means that even if you don't kill anyone, the TA is AFK farming, and the TA has the late game advantage. So G-Pride just decided to scale on the Storm when I feel like now is the hero that should be. Look at difference in levels. Mr. Jesus is 4 levels ahead just because he plays so greedy.
Oh, going in for the Opops VKB, and the double damage rune he just got now is dead. Domi is dead, Luis is dead, they're all dead. They really thought for a second that NoPing would not be baiting right there. They actually thought that the Gyro would be aggressively farming without the rest of his team behind him. That is hubris right there. That is no respect.
Yeah. I mean, we have the Zags now. How much impact do you think we're gonna see from the Zags, my boy DK?
He only needs level 25 now, and then easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He only needs the entirety of NoPing to die Fountain, then he gets the pull, and the Rampage, the Fountain gets
To
the
be
Rampage.
fair, BKB wouldn't have done anything different there.
No, but I think it would allow them to play the game totally different.
Yeah, but
I
then
really feel like
would you
huge
want him
mistake
to
not getting
skip
BKB.
Kaya Sanj?
No, I think you go Kaya BKB this game. I think you
Okay.
get Kaya, and you have a Kato. Like, it really allows you to... Like, you have the mana, even without the Kaya Sanj, and you just get the damage out of the sheer mana and reduction of your cooldowns. Because they couldn't play aggressive, because there was no BKB on the Storm, now just died a lot. Like, they were not creating any pressure, they were not moving NoPing around, and now it's like 1 in 5, right? Because of all of this. He never had the time to farm, because no one was... They had 2 carries, pretty much.
Well, there's one kill coming through. Actually, they're turning their attention towards Sexy Fat, who's dropping very low. Can't get the kill. They find it. Relocate from Duster coming in with RDO now. Going for the straight TP. Can he get the TP to safety? Yes, he does. Luis walks back into the fight, just wanting to say hi for a second towards his opponents, and will slowly but surely get tickled down to death. But they did buy back onto El Misho, and they forced out the BKBs from the NoPing side. So, all in all, not a bad catch.
Yeah, not too shabby. It's just that, like the Exile Storm is good, but I think you really need something like a Darkseer, a Jakiro, a Snapfire. They
Or a
don't have
Sideblade
overwhelm.
TA.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if the TA is alive, it matters. I guess now that she has BKB, we could see value out of it. But you could still just go Eggs after BKB. I think both the TA and the Storm would be happier if Guts didn't play as greedy. You know, and there was also the Roche fight where instead of fighting, he goes for a rune. The TA dies because of the move he goes for.
Yeah, but I think that was 100% TA should not have been there. Even if the Storm was there, they would have died with the Storm would have died extra. Like, there was zero reason to walk there.
Yeah, it depends on the call, right? If the call was to fight,
Then the call was wrong.
Yes, but I think, like, as a team, it's not about whether the plan is right or wrong. It's about just doing the same thing, right? That's the first... Like, first you play as a team, then you start to improve your calls as a team.
I also don't know if he's a
like
permanent
pub,
addition. I don't think he's a permanent addition to the team. So, you know, there's going to be communication issues. He's just going to... You pretty much need to let the Storm play his own game. Gem on deck. Now, nice catch. I mean, he's making some great catches. Not necessarily axe catches, but great catches. That's the thing. When you're playing with a sub and he's like not a permanent addition to the roster, you kind of need to just let them play their game. And try and play with the 4 of your team and play around it.
Mid lane will fall. Oh, I do have to.
Unless it's, of course, someone who used to play for the team and whatnot, and he knows, like Luis, who knows exactly how the team should work. Though he's 1-9-6, so maybe not the best example.
Yeah, I don't think he was set up for success, though. This hero falls off quite a bit. And I think NoPing did a good job. Like, when you play aggressive, Tiny relies on, you know, G-Pride playing aggressive. And they don't have the supports to smoke with the Tiny. So that's why I said the Storm needed BKB. Because the supports can't play with the Tiny, they needed someone to bring the damage. For Storm to bring the damage, he cannot die to Sky. He needs BKB for that. But there you go.
Oh, no. Woo. Link to the side. Homing missile on the chase. They need to find a very good zip. Going in. Oh, no! Luis,
no.
what did you do? Oh, my God. He had the illusion room. But Luis, he just completely destroys that entire team fight. He tosses the Storm when he zips in. Oh, my Lord. That is beyond... Oh,
if this
Lord.
was a pub, we would see some tips.
If this was a pub, you'd see a rage quit right there. You'd see the Storm leaving the game.
Yep.
I was like, he's gonna get a pretty big catch there and then toss up. Oh no.
Get a key into rage quit. That's probably what I would see. It ends up being not that big of a deal. They do get Roche on the side of NoPing, so probably expecting G-Pride to respect that. They might have one fight left here, but they just lack a lot of damage. This TA is too far behind. This hero, you know.
I mean, that was not a big deal because Storm had an illusion room. That's the only reason. Storm didn't have a BKB, doesn't have a BKB.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to. If I dream hard enough, I want him to have one. But
You just have to wait another 6 minutes and hope that the game's not over. Then you get to see your BKB. There's a CK with his illusion army, and they push him back. There is literally zero communication when it comes to the G-Pride side, because they are really not working that well with the Storm. Yadomi, borrowed time, it's about to end. Now they need to disengage. Yadomi is still alive. RDO with the relocate coming in for the backline jump. A lot of damage coming out onto Duster, but not nearly enough. They need to run back towards their base. Luis is going to get 4 seconds stun, will be losing his life. Buyback coming through. They find themselves a dieback. 4 kills, nothing gained for G-Pride. And yeah, that's just... they're also like fighting at their tier 2 when the tier 1's still standing kind of stuff. Like, what?
Yeah. They just don't have any map right now. This game becomes really hard to play like that. Like, they have 2 carries, but none of the carries will ever get online because of the way they played. Like, this game is pretty much over and they know it. You know, they're trying to find some pickups here and there, but they just lack the damage.
Ooh. Now, quick fingers. Sexy Fat is aggressively looking for the catch, and that should be mega secured. They are all very spread out, so not really any good chances here for Guts, aka Mr. Jeans. The slow onto RDO. Haha, that will also slow the IO if he's tethered. That'll teach him.
Yeah, I would have liked to see, like, with the point of them fighting in the tier 2, like, they have the Storm Caudal, right? I feel like they could have been abusing the Shard much more, but he doesn't even have Shard and Caudal. Even though their lanes were really good on G-Pride, I feel like their read on the game is not great. The way, like, they could have just been farming the other 2 lanes and cutting the bottom.
Going in on 1 kill. That's going to be the Aegis pop, but Guts needs to get back. Silence is about to end. They're still alive. Mega's defense is pretty doable on the Dire side, but they need to win a big fight here, and that's going to be pretty rough. Duster, he's not even taking damage from the TA. Now going in, Sexy Fat. He stands out a little bit too aggressive. They lose now. He does buy back. rejoin the fight, going for the El Micho catch, but there's the Ghost Scepter keeping him alive. Soothes pops the BKB, and they're just finishing it. RDO pops his own BKB. He wants this game to be all over, and indeed that's going to be the case. NoPing take game number 1. And honestly, Jeep Ride, of course, they're playing with a sub, they're playing with their old offlaner and the like, but you are really, really lacking communication in that team.
Yeah. The team fights felt really weird. I think the itemization, I just cannot agree with the Axe this game. I just like the